So we have Micky from Show Me Snakes on tonight, so you guys can check it out. We're going to ask him a bunch of hard-hitting questions about shows, and you guys are going to hear what he's got going on and what he's got going on with education. So let's stay tuned for this.
Cool. Micky, good friend of mine. I like him a lot. I think he does more for the friendship than I do, but that's like most of the guys in my life, so we're not going to talk about that. But, Micky's a really driven person. He's been working on a really great show locally. He's really perfected the arts. And, now that the St. Louis show is doing as well as it is and almost getting too big for his britches, he's starting to move out and work on some other cities, which is really fucking awesome because I like to travel and do a lot of shows. And this is going to be my go-to show this year. I'll be honest. You're going to see RL Exotics at a lot of Show Me shows this year. I'm inviting a lot of friends out to do this with me. So this is a little bit of a selfish move to self-promote myself, actually. But with that being said,
was that your one?
That's his one. Actually, that was my one. Yeah, we only compliment each other one time on the show. That was my one compliment for myself this time. But Micky, like I said, we usually like to start from the start of everything, but I want to start from the start of the Show Me show. Like I said, I want to talk about some of those first breeders that took a chance on you. I want to hear about the build-up, what brought you into your bigger venues. I just want to hear a little bit about the troubles and tribulations of putting on a show initially and what you learned and, learned not to do, essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, we started our first show in a little section in the Machinist Hall in Bridgeton. I remember I begged a bunch of vendors to come do it, and everybody's like, oh, a new show. I remember pretty sure Ben was there, like Jeff Nemanius was there from Gateway City, and I think we had like 30 tables at our very first show, and I remember I think we charged like $3 or $4 for admission. We were just letting people in for free and just happy that people showed up. But and we kept growing, each show I'd rent a little bit more of the Machinist Hall because you could rent it in sections. And, people were having a good time and vendors were making money, so it just kept growing and growing until eventually we took over the whole building, like the whole entire building. And it was really scary when we started, but I remember, like Ben was a big supporter of the show whenever we started because he just liked what we were doing because we kept it affordable and we were really big on educating kids. We'd have people set up with the little stations where the kids could handle reptiles and we really made it family friendly. And I remember a lot of people in the beginning said, "Oh, well, good luck. That's a petting zoo thing," and stuff like that. And sometimes I laugh about that whenever I think about that, honestly, because it's grown. That business model's grown it quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's good. And honestly, and you're a big educational guy. I think it's great having kids in there. And don't get me wrong, as a vendor, sometimes shows that are a little more family oriented can be a bad thing. There's a couple shows that I have stopped doing over the years because I felt like it was less buyers and more of a petting zoo. But, even with your show, you have tables set up that aren't even animals for sale, just stuff for education, bringing a little bit of venomous out, talking to people about it, which I really appreciate. Even handing out little gift cards. I don't know how you do it, but you hand out $20 or $50 or $100. How do you do that? You give a little free little gifts for people that come in to spend with the vendors.
Yeah, so we do what's called Show Me Bucks, and we like if I'm walking by the table and somebody's kind of haggling with you over the price of the snake or something, I'll be like, well, what if I give you $50? And I'll hand them like a $50 Show Me Buck, and it'll seal the deal. And and that just comes out of the admission. I'm not trying to get rich doing reptile shows. Put a little bit more money back into it, and people are really happy. And it's always fun for little kids. I'll walk up and, like, if their parents are telling them they can't have something, I'll be like, well, here's 20 Show Me Bucks. And little kid gets his first corn snake, and I just kind of snicker at their parents because, like, well, that's what you get for being tight, Things like that are a lot of fun. Doing this though, I've gotten kind of old because I'm watching some of the kids that were like teenagers whenever I started doing the show and kind of talking to them and stuff. Now they're adults and they're vending the show and stuff and breeding animals. That's been a lot of fun, and I'll probably watch that happen a lot more over the years too. So I should get used to it.
Really cool. Benjamin, you know the rules, man. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking today. I expect you to raise your hand a lot.
Well,
Go ahead,
he was. So Micky, you're mentioning about education. Like, what kind of stuff do you do for the kids for education? I know that's something that you're passionate about. Like, what kind of programs you got running?
Like at the shows or outside of the shows?
Both. Do you start with one and then the other?
Okay, so outside of the shows, we do a lot of educational programs. We do stuff with the parks departments out here in St. Louis County and St. Charles County. A lot of education programs. My wife Tamara actually started doing a lot of those this past year. She's doing a few a week, and at the shows, we set up. We usually use like the local herp clubs or local rescues, and they'll set up education tables and let people handle reptiles. So they're not going to so somebody can go to the education table and handle a ball python instead of going to David's table and play and let me hold that snake. So David can be like, hey, go over there and you can touch that snake. You know what I'm saying?
That's always a great idea.
Micky. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, that's and it helps the rescues out too, because the rescues they adopt out quite a few animals at the show. Then we actually have it set up to where people can, no shame, if somebody has an animal that they can't take care of, they can come bring it to a rescue and find it a new home. That's something that we kind of incorporate into the shows too, keep people from dumping their animals in ditches and things like that.
That's great.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna have to wait, Ben. My mouth is moving, buddy.
No, go ahead.
I just want, unless you get a follow up to that. I don't want to be rude to Ben. You're just
no, go ahead.
important guy to me. No, okay.
No, go ahead.
Micky, when was the first time you put on your St. Louis show? Like, what year was that?
I think it was like 2015.
Okay.
I think we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary.
I like it.
Wow, that's
I like
crazy.
it. 5 years. I mean, that's a long time, man. And which is huge about that. How many shows did you say you had coming up this year?
I think we have 40 shows coming up next year. I know we have 9 different locations that we're doing shows in next year, and they're all big shows. Like, I know our Iowa show this past weekend was nearly 100 tables, and that's in Davenport, Iowa. So, I mean, that's.
How was the foot traffic for you that weekend? You had a lot of people through?
It was pretty good. The smaller shows like that are starting to bounce back since COVID, because our first show back was like slow. Like, I felt so bad. It was so slow. But the one this weekend was actually really good, and the vendors did good, and everybody's really happy. So it looks like things are going to start coming back, and
I like that.
Pandemic, so I'm kind of nervous for Nashville this weekend, but I think it's a good nervous. I think it's going to be really, really, really busy.
I mean, I think it's a good nervous. I mean, I don't know your whole vendor list, but I got Chad Hulker coming down, which makes me happy, and he always brings some amazing stuff. We got Bob Boo coming up for the weekend, which is awesome. I'm not sure how big of the pool the St. Louis guys are coming down, or if you're fetching more people from down south, but this is the furthest south you've gone with the show so far, right?
Yeah, it's definitely uncharted territory. We do have some of our St. Louis guys coming down, but it's mostly new people that we get to meet. I know we were looking at our vendors list, our master list with all of our email addresses on it and stuff. And I do all of our shows, so it's really cool to kind of grow that, because it's going to help us grow our super show here in St. Louis that we have once a year.
Yeah. I'm sure you're going to get a bigger draw at some of those just because, you know, a lot of vendors just like me, you know, you kind of get used to the promoter and then you kind of follow the promoters around. You know, I've gone through, honestly, I've been pretty married to RepsCon over the years. It was a Southeast thing. I did a lot of their shows, had a lot of fun over the years. But, you know, being in the Midwest now, you're kind of my guy. Like, I'm going to just start following you around these next couple of years and see where you take it. Which does excite me because I've done well at just about every single show I've ever done with you so far. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, and we have fun too most of the time.
We have a blast. Anywhere there's a closet we can get into, there's always something happening.
Exactly. Well, I'm really excited. Here's something I'm excited about for this weekend is the male nudes that'll be going on.
Oh, there's gonna be some nudity, buddy. Because
Oh,
I didn't get naked in Texas, so I got to get naked somewhere.
Yeah. Haven't been naked in a while, so we gotta do something.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do something. We got the core group there: Babu, me, Chad Alker. I mean, that's, you put those 4 guys in one room, man. I mean, stuff's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an insane time. You know, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
And it's a 1-day show.
Oh no, this is a 2-day show. So we mostly do 1-day shows, and we found that, you know, 1-day shows they're usually better than our 2-day shows are.
Mhm.
We get the same amount of foot traffic in a 1-day show that, you know, other shows our size get in 2 days. So,
You know,
Yeah,
I agree with that. But we talked about it after that Springfield show that you made it a 2-day. That was an unbelievable show, man. Like, I could not believe the traffic. Sales were absolutely unbelievable. That was the best show I've done with you to date. And I beat it by quite a bit, actually.
well, and that's what makes it special. So, like our locations, like St. Louis, let's say for example, we have our shows all year, and they're 1-day shows, but we have 1 2-day show a year. That's special, you know what I mean? It's not special whenever it's happening every other month or once a month.
I agree.
You kind of see what I'm saying, and that's what made Springfield special. That was the very first 2-day show that we had there.
Yeah, it was different. I remember you ordered us all food that night. I think there was pizzas being passed around, soda everywhere. I mean, you made it kind of just everyone kind of doing something together. I know there was people got together afterwards to get together. Yeah, like I said, it was a good atmosphere. And, you know, I called a lot of my vendor buddies and told them about how good I did in St. Louis or not in St. Louis, but in Springfield. And they just couldn't fathom that you could do that well in a city like Springfield.
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with what's around it, you know, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we just get lucky, and then I realize that, you know, we do put a lot of hard work and effort into it. And it's not just you know, me and Tamara doing it. You know, it's not me sharing memes on Facebook. It's the vendors. You know, you guys are what bring everybody to the shows. It's not me. I mean,
Well, don't take anything away from your memes, buddy. Your memes are classic.
they're mint.
Very mint, bud.
But
Talking, so, and, you know, you said you get together with some of the herp clubs. I'm not sure if you got together with one of the herp clubs in Tennessee for this show yet, or I know you're working with Steve Beamer for marketing and advertising down there.
yeah, Steve and his buddies are helping me promote this show. I didn't think we were going to be able to pull it off. 7 weeks, and it's a huge show. It's a 300 booth show in 7 weeks. You know, we signed the contract 6 weeks ago. I mean, it was insane, and he's been really, really helpful with helping get vendors licensed with Tennessee, you know, bringing Kluberts in and stuff like that. We are working with the Exotic Pet Club down there in Nashville, the Nashville Exotic Pet Club. We're having an auction for them Saturday night. We'll see how that goes.
Really cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You know, we got a bar, and there's going to be barbecue and stuff like that, so maybe everybody can unwind and have a good time after the show.
I like that. I mean, I won't lie. I got to fit in a little field herping while I'm down there. I got a spot that a good friend of mine put me on years ago that I find a little bit of everything at, and I think things are on the move right now, moving to their dens. So I should be around for that. I don't want to be an asshole, but I might actually be out hiking. I don't know yet. It's 50-50. We're going to see.
Well, now that you've told me about that, I might be with you too. So, I mean,
I mean, the invite's there. I mean, shit, I wanted to drag you out on Friday, and we might even spend an extra day there if the herping's good. Last time I did this spot was actually October 4th of last year. I was just going through all my images between the Black Kings, Cottonmouths. We found queen snakes, newts, a lot of different green tree frogs, and the list goes on. It was a nice little spot, flipping ringnecks, all the stuff you'd expect to see. Rat snakes. But no, I don't know when we're gonna do it. We might try to slip in there on Friday a little bit and get a little bit done on Friday. And if it goes well, like I said, we might just boogie over there after the show on Sunday and spend one more night if they're moving.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan. We'll have to talk about that. I'll bring Tamara though. She's a better field herper than I am. She always finds stuff. It was funny you brought up Wisconsin earlier. When we were in Wisconsin with Ryan McVeigh, she flips over this stump or whatever, and there's like 3 beautiful timber rattlesnakes just sitting underneath of it, hanging out. And I'm just like, none of us found really anything. And she just walks over there and flips the thing over. There's it's like, damn it.
Well, Mickey, I know you got a lot of work to do this weekend. So, if she can only go and you can, it's fine. You just let me know and we'll take care of her.
I trust you, David.
Yeah. I trust me.
I have a laundry list of people that don't trust you.
Yeah, well, those people can fuck off.
Right, fuck those guys.
I have this one preloaded for that reason.
Yeah, don't believe Dave. Yeah, that's a classic. You can't believe Dave. But we could dabble on Tennessee a little bit more. I gotta get these glasses off. Sun's going down. Hat's gone.
Uh-oh.
Side parts back in action. I think we're good to go. So again, Tennessee is a big one for you. I want to hear some other cities you got coming up this year, because I'll be honest, I don't know the whole list. And you said you had 9 different cities you'll be doing shows in.
Okay, so we got Kansas City, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Those are new ones that we're doing this next year. Well, actually this year, yeah, they go in November. It seems like in November we have a show every weekend, and one weekend we have 2 of them. One weekend we're going from Springfield on Saturday to Kansas City on Sunday.
Okay,
because I got
like
a little theory about it. I got a little theory about that, and we'll talk about that in person. But I think it's going to be a really good idea, and we'll see how it goes.
I mean, we're kind of in person. I'd love to hear this theory, because to tell you the truth, that's one thing that's big in the Northeast. Like, I would do a show in Philly, jump in the car, and then drive to like White Plains, or drive to Pittsburgh, or maybe I'm going to Pittsburgh one day and then I'm driving to Cincinnati the next day for a show. That's a big Northeast thing.
Well, and that's what I like about doing the one-day shows, because we've stacked them on the weekends like that, to where you could be like 4 hours apart and hitting a show me show. So you're here in Springfield on Saturday, and then you're in Kansas City on Sunday. You're hitting 2 totally different markets. I mean, I think it's the best way, and if people are willing to travel and do it, it's going to work out for them really well.
I mean, I'll say from experience, and again, just from when I was doing shows in the Northeast, you could do as well on Saturday at one show and even better on Sunday at a show, just from doing a couple in different markets like you're saying. And maybe your Saturday show's not great and your Sunday show makes up for it. It really beats it. So, no, I think that's awesome. I'll sign up for both of them every time.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And then we come back the next weekend down to Tulsa to debut that one. And that's really how we've been doing it. I think we just sit around, we see time on the calendar, and we're just like, well, let's start a show here, here, and here.
Sure. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it.
And
we talked about a couple of things too, on why and where and when. Well,
yeah, there's more thought that goes into it than that. I think about it for like a year, and then I'm like, all right, we're doing it.
Yeah.
It takes a long time of thinking.
I don't expect you to give all the trade secrets. We don't want everybody going out there and trying to put on shows because you teach them how to. So, you can be vague about some of this stuff. It's okay.
Well, if you follow my YouTube channel, I'll have, videos up there, step-by-step directions on how to do it.
Yeah, you should. And, another cool thing about what you do with your shows, you do a live feed. as the show's opening up, or actually 15 or 30 minutes before, and you're walking through, you're talking to your vendors, taking pictures, getting some videos out on Facebook, promoting it as it's being put together, which I like.
Yeah, you got to motivate everybody and let them know what's there. You know, something we don't like doing is I don't put a vendors list out a lot of times. So I like to show on video what's there at the show before it opens. And there's some reasons why I don't put vendors list out too often, but the videos I think are better than, you know, if I put Joe Blow's name out there, nobody knows what Joe Blow brings. But if I put a video of what Joe Blow has at his table, people are going to know.
And you do the same thing on Facebook the week leading up to it. You do a post that tells everyone, hey, let's see what you got. Who's producing what right now? You know, who's going to bring what to the shows, which I think's awesome too.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, we have that group, and I love those groups because it really keeps everybody connected with each other, because the whole network of vendors that we have and people that attend the shows regularly, it's really kind of turned into one big family. I'd hate, you know, everybody's really close and they communicate a lot, and it's made the community here in St. Louis a lot tighter. So what we're trying to do is just move it and do kind of replicate what we did here in other areas.
Good. And that's the way to do it. When you find something that works, keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So Benjamin's got a big question for you, and I think it's, when do you plan on doing a show in New Jersey?
Let's find a place.
There's places in Jersey. There's been a couple shows in Jersey, but they usually don't do that well because there's a bunch of weird rules in Jersey. And like, you need a permit to show animals, but they have to be separated from people in some way. So nobody can touch an animal. It's a no-touch state. You can't get a permit to allow somebody to touch an animal. So in New Jersey, now people do it, but you can lose your permits and you can lose you know, your animals, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird, crazy state for that kind of stuff. So we did go to a show and in New Jersey, and it was okay, but it's nothing like, you know, some of the shows outside of Jersey for sure.
That's a really dumb rule.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We had to look it up because we've had people come to us and say, hey, we'd love for you to come, like, show some animals at, you know, with the local Boy Scouts. And I'm like, yeah, we can do that, but it doesn't help if you can't touch the animals. And there's supposed to be like plexiglass or something between the animal and the people. Like, some barrier has to be there. And it makes it like silly.
Well, it almost sounds like you're describing a display case, Ben.
Yes, yeah. A display case, but it's hard to do that with education, you know?
I get that.
Yeah, everybody likes to touch. That's how we have to do our display venomous whenever we do education shows. So we have a barrier here, and then we have another barrier here. Yeah, it's goofy. I don't know. That's a weird little law. How'd that even go through? There's just not a lot of people to oppose it.
There's a lot of weird laws in Jersey.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys need a reptile show there, though, for sure.
I mean, I'd love it if there was a reptile show in Jersey. There's a lot of good places, a lot of really populated places that you could definitely, you know, do well at. It's just got to just overcome the state.
See, maybe they accidentally wrote that from like the strip clubs, you know, like the no touch rule. That's where it sounds like that came from. No touch.
It could be. But...
You know, the best way to get around that is don't know how to read.
Don't even get me started there. We're not even going to go there.
But yeah, New Jersey though, and with what Ben's saying, I think it was a show in Pittsburgh maybe I went to years ago where somebody got bit at one of the previous shows. They sued the show promoter, won. It wasn't a big lawsuit, maybe $10,000, $20,000, which is a lot of money, but they won it. And from there on out, you were never allowed to take out an animal for a customer ever again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sometimes that's part of the sales tactic, is you got to put that animal in somebody's hand. And it's also definitely part of the education thing, because that's one of the biggest things that we teach people whenever they come into our shows at the education tables is snakes are not slimy. Like, a lot of people still think that they're slimy. Like, if your snake's slimy, that probably means you're not taking good care of it. Like,
yeah.
I agree.
Ryan and I were actually talking about that recently. So at a show, there is some sort of I think it's a fungal infection or something going around in certain areas, and people are saying, vets before the show are like, hey, make sure that whoever's handling your animals are like wash their hands or whatever. So I kind of committed to saying, all right, we're not going to let people hold our animals right now until that kind of passes or whatever. But that's a huge deal. What you're saying, Micky, is when somebody's looking at an animal and they're like, oh, I don't know, it's really cute, I kind of want it. The first thing you want to do is open up that enclosure and put it in the person's hand. It's so much harder for them to say no to it once it's in their hand. And if you can't do that, it's like, it's significant, I think, in your sales tactic, like you were saying, Micky.
It really is, and just in the hobby in a whole, because if it's a first-time reptile owner, they're still scared of that animal until they hold it and you kind of show, hey, it's good, it's okay, and then they're like, oh, well, now I'm gonna have a new pet because I'm starting to fall in love with this little thing.
Yep.
Because it's not scary anymore. So I don't know. That's a crazy rule, man.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And, the big thing too, and don't get me wrong, we do have investors coming to shows. We have people coming in to further their breeding projects, but a big part of your shows are always going to be pet people. I would say 8 out of 10 animals I sell at a general show will be to a first time or a previous pet owner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well that's what this is. This is a pet industry, and that's who we try to cater to. We try to serve everybody, from the pet owner to the breeder, to the seasoned breeder at our shows, and so far so good. I'm still stuck on that not being able to touch the reptile thing. That's just crazy, Ben. I feel like we need to write somebody a letter.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. Maybe people just ignore it in Jersey. My partner Ryan, we're sticklers for the rule because we don't want to jeopardize the business, being in Jersey and all. It's not like if Dave came here, they would just kick him out.
You have to follow the rules.
Yeah, got to follow the rules.
Yeah, I get that.
You have to follow the rules wherever you're at. Even if they're dumb rules, you got to follow them.
We all said, it doesn't always take an animal in your hand, but for somebody who's going to have that experience, they go to the show and they want to find the right animal. And I'm not a big promoter of running to every table and holding every animal because I'll be honest, once I see people do that, I don't usually want to take my animals out. But even with that being said, that opportunity to really handle something, make sure this is something that you even want to get involved in. There's so many different species that move in so many different ways and interact with you in so many different ways that, I understand that the shows heavily ball pythons, but I don't always tell people that ball pythons are the #1 go-to pet as a starter. I mean, I like Western hognose. I know the rear fang thing scares people, but I still think they're great feeders. I think they're very easy to handle, very slow moving. Some of your baby corn snakes can be a little tricky sometimes. Like we said, your baby ball pythons can be a little tricky. You never really know. Skinks are not tricky.
No, they're the best first pet.
They really are one of the best pets. That's again, we've talked about that. That's why I started breeding skinks. They're amazing pets.
Yep.
But that's a weird tangent. We don't have to keep on doing this.
So that's kind of why we have the education.
Oh, what was that, buddy?
I said that's why we have the education tables there, though, so people don't have to run around and handle all of your snakes and all the vendor snakes. Like they can go to one of those tables and handle those animals.
No, that's very true. So kind of dabbling back in the educational stuff. So what are your go-to animals that you usually take to a school or an event to talk to people about?
So it really depends on the age bracket, but for the younger kids, we'll take a big Burmese python. We have a couple of those. We'll take one. It's about 10 feet long, and we usually take like a ball python and a corn snake, and we take a skink. We have a tegu that we take. We've got a whole little arsenal of animals that we like to take, and for the little kids. And then as we get into the older kids, we'll take venomous snakes, and we'll take a lot of the native venomous stuff. Like we'll take timber rattlesnakes, copperheads, the cottonmouths, and show the kids around here what not to touch when they're out in the woods. We've got some other, non-venomous natives, so we can teach them the difference that, this is a black rat snake and not a copperhead, and this is a cottonmouth, and this is a banded water snake. Show them the difference.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I like that a lot. That's one thing I always find tough is, you talk to kids and you talk to families about not killing anything, but to know what's right to touch and what's wrong to touch, I always say just don't touch anything, of course. Especially if you don't know.
Thing. We always say don't touch anything. Like even if you know what it is, don't touch it.
Yeah.
We try to teach the kids and even the adults not to disturb wildlife because it's disappearing, around everywhere.
Yep.
So just don't touch it.
Yeah, we got this little small town here I'm in that you came out to. It's just about nothing. And I go to my local feed store and, every time I go, there's a couple guys sitting out front. It's a couple different guys every time. And first thing they want to tell you about when you tell them you like snakes is how they chopped the head off of one time. And, I always have my little spiel. I don't want to be long-winded on it. But, a lot of these animals serve a purpose, keeping other pests away from your house that people don't realize. And, I understand you don't want copperheads and cottonmouths stuff running around your yard, but, the black rats that serve a big purpose. A lot of these other animals, it's tough to convince people sometimes, but, it's always worth a shot.
Well, and that's what I enjoy about doing the education at like our big shows and stuff, because then you have an opportunity to reach a few thousand people in person. And then what you do when you're teaching people at a show is you have a few thousand people that go and kind of say, hey, don't kill snakes. I'd like to think that it kind of spreads like that, if that makes sense.
I agree. So some other things that I like about you, I think it's thinking outside the box is you go to non-reptile related trade shows and you have set up booths promoting the Show Me Reptile shows. Which I think is awesome because I talk about that all the time.
Oh yeah, we so I know a lot of reptile shows will have like home and garden booths at their shows. We don't have those here, but like a home and garden show, we'll have a Show Me Reptile show booth there, showing off snakes and stuff. And we pay to go there. Like we'll pay like $400 to sit at a gutter show and show our snakes off all weekend.
Yeah.
That's why I'm having a gutter show at the reptile show.
Yeah. See, now it's the other way around. Usually we bitch about the gutter guys being at the show. You go to the gutter show and they get to bitch about you being there.
Yeah, exactly. And I just laugh at them.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, like I said, I like that. I've talked about it over the years a lot. I mean, I've considered to put up tables at fish shows. We sell to a lot of fish owners, and then they go and buy more when they realize just how easy a reptile is compared to maintaining a fish tank. So I like going out to stuff like that or talking about it. Hell, even art festivals, man, setting up a booth there. Get at a music or art festival that could draw out a whole new crowd of people, and that's a little less boring than the gutter festival, buddy.
Well, see, and we do that too. Like we set up at pride festivals and just all kinds of fun stuff like that. And we just spread the word about the reptile community. A lot of times it's not even about promoting our business. It's just about, hey, look, here's a snake and it's not a terrible thing. Like, check it out, and that's a lot of fun. I think the most fun I've ever had was going to a retirement home and letting an old lady hold a snake that's never even touched one. It's been deathly afraid of one their whole life. That's fun.
Oh, I love turning new people onto them, man. I love when my family or anybody that knows me comes over that isn't even part of this hobby. I can show them off the animals. A lot of times if you have passion in your voice when you talk about something, especially what you work with, it's hard for people around you not want to, appreciate them. So yeah, no, I'm on the same page. Go ahead, Benjamin. You want to talk a little bit, man? I'm just little Ben action. You got anything for us, buddy?
Sure. So what are some of the things that people can see at your shows that maybe they won't see at other shows, or maybe what's a really cool animal that you recently saw at a show? I got to see this weekend in Texas some Eastern Indigos, which were awesome, and of course, every once in a while you get to see some bell-faced lace monitors, and we got to see a couple of those, and an owl, which was cool. But so what are some of the cool things that people get to see at your shows?
Well, it just depends on the show. Sometimes we'll have like kangaroos and monkeys and lemurs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll bring our lemur Maurice to the show and let people kind of check him out. Sometimes if it's legal in the state where we're having a show, I'll bring some of my cobras and display them and let people check those out. It just really depends on what show, because each show is unique as to who visits, what they're gonna bring. We've seen just about everything at our shows, though. I mean, and that's always the fun part, is trying to hunt down that variety and who's gonna have the coolest stuff. And that's why I'm really excited about Nashville this weekend, because we got some really, really cool guys coming down this weekend. I'm even excited about some of the ball python breeders that are coming too. I'm always excited to see what David's got. Like when I was down there snooping through his stuff, in the springtime, I was like, oh wow, I was excited about that stuff. So I'm really excited to see what's going to be down there. We got some really neat colubrid guys coming. We got Josh Alder coming from Michigan, and he's bringing some weird shit. Like, I'm hoping it's a good show, because I might buy some new snakes this weekend.
Yeah.
See, I'll be honest, I do a lot of shows, but if I was in your shoes, I'd have the same collection as you, man. 400 animals, everything a different species. Like, that would just be the way it is.
It gets hard, but I enjoy what the stuff that I keep, and they're a lot of fun. And I think that's the biggest reason why I do the shows, is because I enjoy the animals. I love the animals, and I love our community, really. It's been great being a part of watching it grow, and becoming a more quality community, like our local community here in St. Louis, like rock solid, and it's been cool being a part of growing that, and kind of watching everybody do their thing.
Oh, I agree. I mean, honestly, I usually don't know where people live, and like when I went to the first Show Me show, like seeing some of the guys that were out, like I had no idea they were even from this region. And there's always, like you said, a lot of really exciting tables there, a lot of diversity, which I always love about your show. You always go out of your way not to make sure it gets too overcrowded with one species, which I always appreciate, because that makes me more money, because you're kicking the other ball python guys out.
Well, so when it comes to ball python guys, I always try to make sure that it's kind of genetically diverse. Like, I see what you're working with, I see what he's working with, and I don't want a whole bunch of the same stuff there. People will be like, oh, there was 10 tables of ball pythons. It's like, okay, well, did you look at the genetics? Like, nobody had the same stuff. Like,
no, which is good. Diversity is everything, and giving everyone a fighting chance to be able to make some money. Again, some shows can be pretty overcrowded, and things will level out over time, but it's a long waiting game sometimes for some people to just bow out.
Oh yeah, it is. Some people are really stubborn, but it's just one of those things. It is what it is. You just wait them out.
Yeah. So
what?
Oh, go ahead. No, Ben, let's hear it, buddy.
So one of the things that I find interesting at like every single reptile show that I've ever gone to, just as, I don't know if it's just a weird thing, but there's always people that dress up. Like, I saw a guy dress up like a big giraffe this weekend, a really tall head like giraffe, and I've seen people dress up in little like frog outfits, and that blow up Tyrannosaurus Rex, like
that's a classic.
Classic. You always see those running around. So what are some of the fun things that people see when like, you ever have anybody? There's this really, really annoying guy. He's always dressed like a panda, him and his friends at one time. But
Oh, those
I haven't
guys.
seen him
Yeah.
pull
I
out
saw
the
those
Panda
guys
in a
in
little while.
Daytona once. Yeah, the Panda Express.
The Panda. I'm just joking, Bobville. I'm joking.
Are ya? Are ya?
So
No, so usually around like Halloween time, we'll have shows, and we have costume parties and costume contests at the shows. It's fun. Yeah, and people do dress up weird. Sometimes they'll dress up like snakes and do the same thing they do everywhere else. You know,
yeah,
a lot of people are just really excited to get out and be around other people that enjoy reptiles when they go to shows. So they just kind of let loose and do their thing and have a good time.
Yeah. So I know you've had some of those blow up dinosaurs walking around your show. I've seen that T-Rex at least one St. Louis show. And I feel like there's been a couple other guys randomly during the course of the year that have come just dressed up as lizards. Maybe is that ringing a bell, or am I
Oh
thinking of
no,
someone
yeah,
else?
yeah, it happens, and we actually have one of those animatronic Tyrannosaurus Rex that walk around the St. Louis show, Tinkerbell, that the kids play with and stuff like that. That thing's crazy. It looks like a real Tyrannosaurus Rex. Those,
it's all
So,
about adding fun, man. I think it's
oh
cool.
yeah, that's it. It's supposed to be a whole experience, an event.
Reminder.
Just a reminder.
we have furries that show up to the show too. That's always interesting. You see the tails dragging around and stuff.
Yeah, I saw
Maybe
a
we
couple
should
this
stop-
weekend.
Yeah. You know what the problem with that is? It's because you keep on setting up booths at your local sex stores, man. You don't have to set up everywhere, man. I know you want to promote this show, but that might not be our demographic.
I gotta stop setting up showing steaks at Dr. John's. Is that what you're saying? At the local
Yeah,
steak man?
I mean, I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying you don't have to hand out so many business cards.
It's usually where we get rid of most of them. On the napkins, the
do.
ones we put on the napkins.
Yeah, I'm not gonna joke around about that anymore.
All right.
Well, geez, more stuff about show stuff. Kind of like Benjamin. And even going to your show, like random things that come through the door. I know there's somebody at one of your shows that shows up with a fox, usually in a stroller.
Oh yeah, so we had to ask him to stop. He used to bring this fox, and the fox would get so stressed out that it would stink so bad. And yeah, they meant well. They were just doing education with it, but it was kind of rough.
I mean, I'll be honest. I thought they were supposed to smell like that.
I don't know. I've seen other. I'm not even going to talk about it.
How about that little lemur of yours, buddy? Where's that little guy at right now?
He is downstairs, probably sleeping, and he's a lot of fun. He tears the house up, and the office here is the only place where I can have pictures on the wall because he's not allowed in here. He's like having a little rubber bouncy ball shoot through the house, and he's a lot of fun. He's actually coming with us to Nashville this weekend. You can play with him. You haven't seen him in a long time, have you?
Last time I saw him, I think was actually at the Wisconsin show. The first Wisconsin show. Was it the first one?
That was the first one. That was the Blizzard show.
Yeah, that was the Blizzard show. That was a good weekend. That was icy as fuck, man. I think even when I walked out to the parking lot to get some flyers from you, I was busting my ass.
Oh yeah, it was. Oof. That was a good show though, for being a Blizzard show. That was a good show for being in Blizzard in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I thought that was a really good weekend. I think there were some people that were afraid that it wouldn't be based on the weather, and I'm always watching the weather, but again, had great foot traffic. Actually did better than I thought we were going to do. Had a really great show, and I grew up in Wisconsin, like we talked about. So some of my family that I keep telling about what I'm doing, but don't really take me serious, came out, got to see the table, hang out behind it for a little bit. I loved it. I fed you a gyro, if I remember right, which is just all part of it.
That was a super good gyro. Still one of the best ones I've ever had. You were right. About that.
But
hey, remember what? Didn't we watch somebody eat a pickle there? Remember the pickle? The guy with the pickle.
A pickle?
The guy with the pickle. The pickle. The pickle. The guy with the pickle. 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 The pi
You know what? I think you're talking about a porn shop, buddy. I think you've kind of just drifted off for a second.
Oh no. That was in Wisconsin. The pickle in Wisconsin. The kid with the pickle.
There was like 3 of us at a table. There was no pickles, bro. Are you talking? I don't remember this pickle. Now I'm all curious. What pickle are you talking about?
Okay. So we're standing there, and you point across the room at somebody that is like deep. You remember now?
That was the reptile show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that person's not listening because I don't want them to be offended, but they were passionately eating this pickle. And it wasn't even that it was sexual in any way. You could just tell that this guy loved this fucking pickle. There was people selling these like giant pickles at the thing to eat, right?
Yeah, they were huge pickles.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. He worked that thing with his tongue for like 5 minutes before he even took a bite out of it.
We just stood there and watched him. It was hilarious.
I'll be honest, as cool as that pickle was, do you remember that after poop, after you had that gyro?
Yeah, that was, ooh. It smelled like lamb chops.
It did. Benjamin, I'm going to take you to Wisconsin when we go up there for timbers. I'm going to feed you a gyro, and then we're going to talk about that post-poopy, buddy. It is a smell that is like no other smell.
It's
Man, I eat gyros all the time. I'm ready. I'm down.
Yeah, best gyros up there. It was really good. And that's the fun part about doing reptile shows and traveling around and stuff. You get to meet all kinds of people and watch them eat pickles and have gyros.
I mean, I say it all the time. Food is one of my favorite things when I'm traveling. You know what we're eating this weekend?
What's that?
We're going to Hattie B's. They got a deep fried chicken that'll literally bring you to tears, buddy. It is so hot, I can take one bite and I got to quit. Like, they serve milk with it, and you got to get milk. And then also, we're going to the grilled cheesery. They got 6 different grilled cheese sandwiches, and they're the best grilled cheese sandwiches you'll ever have.
Oh, I'm ready. Just let me know when, and we're on it. It'll be fun. I'm really excited for this weekend. We've been working our butts off on it, and just getting ready for it.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
Like I said, 7 weeks of preparation, man. And like I said, it's a great town. It's a good time of the year to be down there. And Tennessee really hasn't had many shows this year. Like, this is kind of like their first big show in a long time.
Yeah, they haven't had any shows since last year. COVID's really kind of shut things down this year for a lot of people, and it's been unfortunate. But we've been lucky enough to kind of grow through this whole thing. We like we were talking about earlier, we added a couple new shows to the roster this year, and we plan on growing next year. We'll see where we end up in 2021.
Could be a big one, man. Keep expanding the way you are. You'll have to hire more people.
I know. Ben, what are you doing with your lights up there, man?
When you start seeing that happen, that means he's tuned out and he's just playing on the internet. He does this a lot.
I don't do that a lot. You know what I'm doing? I'm checking out.
Are you
stuff
still on
like
market?
Oh yeah, that guy. You had a good TikTok of Maurice the other day, if I remember right. It was kind of like best of Maurice.
Yeah, the best of Maurice. Tamara makes some funny stuff with him. It's just nothing but content with that guy. Like, it's always something with Maurice. He's always breaking stuff and acting crazy.
That's all part of it, man. If you're gonna get one of him, that's just the way life's gonna be now.
Well, a lot of people always ask about, oh, well, I want a lemur, and I always tell them the truth. It's like having a 3-year-old that can jump 6 feet in the air and break all your stuff. Like, it's what he does.
Oh,
yeah. There's Tamara feeding him. Yeah, see right there. She's teaching him how to do high five and stuff. So when you see him this weekend, David, he should give you a high five.
You better fucking give me a high five.
Right. All you gotta do is give him a raisin.
That's it, just a raisin?
Yep, just a raisin.
Should I bring some raisins?
She'll have raisins.
Okay, well, I was just offering. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, want me to bring something else? Maybe some other freeze-dried or what do they call those fruits?
No marshmallow. He loves blueberries.
Blueberries? Fresh blueberries
Oh, yeah.
or freeze-dried?
fresh blueberries. He loves fresh blueberries.
Okay, I'll buy some and try not
Usually
to eat them on the drive.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That is the hard one, buddy. Well, talking about your shows and, branching out, you made your way up to Wisconsin. You're kind of doing the Midwest a little bit. I mean, really, what are your limitations? I know we want to get you down in Texas someday. I mean, how far west do you think you would want to take this, and how far east?
We'll take it wherever anybody will support it. We were actually talking about that. We're probably gonna have to start, maybe flying to some of the shows because we get tired of driving after 10 or 12 hours. It gets old.
Yeah.
Easier to jump in a plane and fly, Huh?
Oh, I said when you buy your tickets a couple months in advance, you're good to go, man. It's not that much, and a lot of times it's probably cheaper than traveling. Driving.
Oh yeah. I know our recent trip out to Vegas was really cheap. Thanks COVID for the vacation in Vegas. It was nice.
Yeah.
Do you speaking of flying to shows, do you ever do you have people that ship out of the shows, like maybe Ship Your Reptiles or Reptiles Express or something that vend at your shows to help ship animals out?
So this weekend Debbie Price will be in Nashville.
Okay.
To ship animals out. A lot of the times we don't really have that. It's more of a local thing, but I think Nashville is going to be kind of our first big swipe at a national show. Maybe we'll see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, one of the things I find, because I've flown to shows and had issues where, I got to get the animals home, and then I'm like trusting a friend, hopefully, to like take a box home with them and then drop it off at FedEx, or whatever. But I've been at other shows where they've had, like Debbie or somebody at the show where they'll ship out. And I think it's a huge benefit. I really do. Even with vendors, some vendors ship their animals in, which is fine. FedEx can drop off at a location where the show is. That's not so bad. But then to ship any animals you didn't sell back out, that could be kind of hectic. So,
yeah, I think it's gonna be cool having her there, and we'll see how it works out for her, and maybe she'll come out to future shows and do it, or have Ship Your Reptile out or something like that. It is always a lot of fun shipping your animals back home instead of trying.
Yeah. I will say this, I know we've talked about this in the past a little bit, certain cities like, let's say Myrtle Beach or the Vegas show. When you get into these real big touristy areas, a lot of people want to see everything, but they know they don't have the resources to get them home. And I've always said that in states or cities like that, if you have somebody out really saying, hey, right here, you want to buy something, you just drop it off with me afterwards, I'll make a label on the spot, you pay for it, let me know when to ship it. Do it all there, have a little computer set up where people can be on vacation, get an animal, and not have to stress about how they're going to get it home. And I think that would actually add to sales at shows.
Yep.
I agree with you 100% there, and I think that helps with like let's say like Tinley Park with their, a lot of people fly in for that show and a lot of people ship out. I know we've had to ship animals back from Florida when we go down to the shows down there, because you just don't want to, you just can't fly back with them. I remember one time we were coming through the airport from Daytona and a lady got in trouble because she was trying to smuggle a red-footed tortoise onto a plane. And I was just thinking to myself, man, you could have shipped that back for $50.
Yeah. No. Yep. I think both Debbie, if I remember right, and Ship Your Reptiles both set up at Tinley with the option of dropping off your animals after the show for them to ship back for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they do. And and Debbie being down there this weekend, it'll be good. It'll be good. So if you're flying in, be sure to check out Debbie whenever you buy something, and she'll ship it home for you.
No, yeah, I love Debbie. Debbie is always there for a nice big warming hug when I see her. So I'm always all about that hug. Husband's a great guy. I like her husband a lot. I met them a lot doing the Southeast shows back in the day. So I've actually known her for quite a while. Oh
yeah, she's super cool. I just seen her down in Texas when we were down there. I thought about coming down to Texas and coming to Arlington this past weekend. How was that? Was that a lot of fun? Or
Yeah, I had a blast like always.
I had fun.
I think, good barbecue. Had some good sushi. The show had a lot of variety. Got to go to Six Flags.
I vended, so I was there all day.
You vended. I had a whole experience when I was down there.
Yeah.
There was the poo trail outside the bathroom, which I think I sent Ben the video. Did I send
sure
you the poo
did.
trail, Micky?
I seen the video too. Yeah, the poo trail.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the weekend.
I was like, is that blood? Did somebody like cut themselves? And then you go into the bathroom and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. You see the cleanup job they tried to do on that toilet seat too? Like you can actually see finger marks running across the seat. It was pretty legit.
That's awesome.
But it's God, man, I feel so bad. The tarantula lady, what's her name again?
So Marita Del Pena.
She did a little
tarantula
video.
girl.
Yeah, she did a little video with me and Chad at the show together.
Yep.
And I sent her the poo video. I think that's going to be part of the footage in me and Chad's interview. So I'm pretty excited about getting that video out there to the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll match them together for you.
Yeah. Oh, I think
I actually just booked her to be on our podcast in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Badass, man. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we had a blast with her. I had a lot of fun. And, you know, like I was telling her, I don't get to watch a whole lot of stuff because of the lack of Wi-Fi out here. But, you know, you talked her up quite a bit. And I think I watched one of her episodes beforehand just kind of get a feel for things. But holy fuck, that's it.
I can tell you. I can tell you a funny.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. Just the biggest wolf spider ever just walked over with like 1,000 babies on its ass. And it's just fucking staring at me. And it's making me uncomfortable.
You're in his meth spot.
You're in my meth spot, bro.
But Marita, so what at Arlington, we were all trying to, you know, hang out and stuff, and yeah, that's a good looking spider.
All the babies.
Wow.
Oh. Not a fan. Sorry, guys. I like a little nature when I'm doing this. I'm gonna count it.
So everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we're hanging out," and it was Saturday night, and the night was kind of wrapping up a little bit for me. I was like ready to go to bed. It was a long day for me, and Marita's like, "Come on, we all got to go to the hot tub." So I was like, "I don't really want to do that, but okay." So we go out there, and the hot tub's packed with people. It's outside. It looks like a little pool, so it's not like just a standard square or round hot tub. It's like an oval and, you know, whatever. There was the guys from Fred's from Kicks Balls were out there. There's like 10 people that I didn't know that well and a few people that I did know well. Well, the first step looks like a boulder, like that you're getting into the hot tub. And I was in the hot tub, you know, earlier that, you know, Thursday night. So I knew that, you know, it looks like a boulder. It's not a real standard step. I step on it, I'm trying to step around people to get in. Well, the very far corner edge is like cut out a little bit to make it look cool, I guess. Well, I hit that and went face first all the way down into the hot tub with all the people sitting around and made a good splash. It was awesome. When I came up out of the water, nobody was really going out to help me. You know, what if I hit my head? Nobody was really jumping in. They're all just like, oh. I played it off pretty well, but I did break my toe.
See, when a grown-ass man falls down in front of you, you got to do the 5-second rule. If he doesn't move in 5 seconds, you jump into action.
Yeah.
That's when you help. Otherwise, you just kind of watch and try not to laugh.
I was hoping people would be laughing, but I almost stayed under the water. Like, I didn't really get hurt. I was thinking that was embarrassing. I should probably just stay underwater. Then I thought people probably would think I got hurt if I stayed underwater. So I came up nice and cool. I was like acting like nothing happened. It's pretty cool.
Maybe you should do it next year. Bring a bunch of ketchup packets and slap yourself on the face afterward and start screaming.
I thought about just floating up, you know, just like Dead Man, like, and just seeing, because I'm a pretty big boy trying to see, you know, a few guys trying to lift me out of that hot tub. I don't think it's happening. I'd be all slick and wet.
Remember the adrenaline rush of saving a man's life will give people the power to lift you up, like a lady who lifts up a car when a kid's stuck underneath the tire.
Yeah, that might happen. Then she'll be real mad when she realizes that it get hurt.
Yeah, right.
That's what is funny though.
Right. Yeah, right. I
That's
wish
what
I was
it's
there to watch you fall in the hot tub. I'm actually really sad that I wasn't there for that.
I know. I wish I would have known I was gonna do it.
Yeah, so you gotta have the camera rolling at all times, buddy. We're just gonna have to strap a GoPro to you so when this happens again.
Yeah, that's my life actually. That's how it goes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
We do this towards the end, man. We just kind of randomly start talking, practically just ignoring Micky at this point. You want to talk about when you fell in a hot tub one time?
I didn't fall face first. I fell on my ass into a hot tub one time, and I thought I broke my tailbone, and it was a horrible experience. Wasn't as fun as Ben's story. It was.
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I understand hot tubs, kinda, but I really think that like they should just go away like water beds went away, man. Like I feel like that's just a thing of the past. I'm just not a hot tub guy. I'm not a water guy.
I like water.
I don't really care for hot tubs either, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, I'm kind of with you there, David, because like everybody's like, oh, let's go jump in the hot tub, and I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, human soup. It's kind of gross. Bleach in the nose.
Yeah. I think it's fun to like be out in the snow and like the ice, and you're like in shorts or less, and you're like in the snow, and then you jump into a hot tub, and like I think that's cool.
So, do me a favor. What's less than shorts?
I've sent you pictures.
My
yeah,
picture.
you sent me pictures. Really set myself up for that one. Well, Micky, I'll be honest. I think this is Tuesday night, so everybody knows, and we got that presidential debate coming up, and I think all of us are kind of on the edge of our seat to watch this tonight. I think it's gonna be a real fucking shit show, and I can't fucking wait. I hate to cut this short, Micky, man, but honestly, like I said, I love your shows. I do always apologize for not making it to everyone. There's always something that comes up, but really looking forward to doing it this year. We're gonna get a lot of real good people coming out, and you bring the people to the door, and whatever I can do to help with vendors ever, man, I will put the word out.
I appreciate everybody's support. You know, it's been one crazy ride this whole time, and hopefully we get to see everybody out there in Nashville this weekend.
Yeah, man.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Right, sounds like you have a lot, man. 300 people or 300 tables. That's a big fucking show, buddy. Yeah,
we can actually do. I think it's close to 500 there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, turn it into, you know, they have the All Pet Expo there, which really was a very interesting concept. A lot of reptile people, a lot of really other unique things to look at. Just for selfish reasons alone, if you're going to push up to 500, man, you better call some fish people up, because it's all reptile people. I ain't fucking coming.
Well, so the funny thing about that is we've been kind of trying to merge aquatics into the reptile shows a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, because there is a huge crossover market there. Like, really, it's all kind of one big hobby. Like, we all like animals, you know, but I'm not going to have dogs and cats there. Nothing against cats. I know you love cats, David, but
I love cats.
He does.
I know you love cats. I have to show you a picture of a cat that we have. You're going to love this little guy. Little
I'm
girl.
into it.
Yeah.
Can't
I'll
wait.
send you a picture later. Yeah.
Fucking send me a picture.
Oh yeah. I gotta go find her. She's hiding.
Are you gonna go find her right now?
No, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I can wait. I mean, I'm a little antsy now, but I'll wait. Okay, well, honestly, Ben, you know how to do this better than me. Go ahead, let's send this one off. And again, Micky, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, this was great. It's good to talk to you and hear about the shows and what's going on, what's the future of this. And we do appreciate all that you're doing with education, because that really benefits all of us, getting the next reptile keepers out there and excited about reptiles and animals and things like that. So we appreciate that. So anybody that's listening or watching, make sure that you hit that like button and share this, tell your friends, check us out. Check out Micky on his Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Apparently, if you want to start your own reptile show, check out his YouTube channel.
That was a joke.
Yeah, that was a lie. That was a blatant lie.
My YouTube videos are horrible. Don't watch them.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and Micky again, thank you so much for being on, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Bye.